Hey, Joe and Lou, it's Michael Bruce here. Just wanted to give you guys a call and see how you were doing, make sure there was no injuries from roller skating or anything like that, and see how everybody's doing in Raccoondom. And just wanted to let you know I just finished cleaning up after the first annual Honeymooners podcast Raccoon Convention. Yes, it did take me that long to do it. I kept it on the down low. Many people don't know this, but I did apply for a janitorial position at Uncle Vinny's. I talked to him that day. He liked my credentials. I told him, I said, listen, I have an efficiency system that will keep this place in, tip-top shape. And, he said, look, the salary's good. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. If I keep my original job, I could have 2 salaries. So this is great. And, tips, Easter, Christmas and stuff like that, bonuses. So it made sense. But I just finished cleaning it up. As you know, the place was a disaster when we got done with it. It was just crazy. I mean, there were, ripped paper bags and water and bulging eyes and snakes that must have come out of a can or something. I don't know. And handcuffs and masks and, all these things that were all over the floor. But finally got the job done and cleaned it up. And I was a little confused there, though. There was more than 4 walls. As you know, I get a little confused when there's more than 4 walls. Uncle Vinny's actually has a plethora of walls. But, now that I think about it, plethora, El Guapo, that's a whole different podcast. But anyway, I had a great time. Everybody's still coming down from this high that it was, Brian Carney, everything that was going on. And so just checking in on everybody. And Ron Albanese is currently on an island called Bayonne in Hawaii still. He's got swollen eyes. He's walking around. He can't be found. So hopefully he'll join us soon. Can't wait to come in and see you guys, and we'll, party with Jane Russell then. Honeymooners #247 RX.
Testing, hot outbound car, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you ready?
I'm all ready.
You on here? Come on, let's go inside and get started.
Dusty out in that hall?
Hey, get a load of butts over there.
Oh, would I like to belt you just once. Dusty out in that hall?
What's my temperature, Norton? Oh, come on, let's get moving. Isn't there any lot here?
Yeah, about 300 pounds.
A 20% percentage.
And now, who is our next guest, please? Herb, here's our next guest.
Ed Norton. Ha ha! What's this?
The Honeymooners Podcast, the only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time, with the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fatts.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you hurricanes, Bensonhurst bombers, and all you Marty the Getaway drivers out there? You're listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fatts.
Hello, I'd like to get some information. Supposing somebody leaves something on a bus, say a suitcase, what does he got to do to get it back? He's got to come down and identify it, and what? Describe the contents, and then what? You open it, and if the description matches, why? Look, but suppose nobody claims it, and then what happens to it? Yeah? Oh? Uh-huh. Okay, thanks a lot, sister. Now, boys, we're getting that suitcase back.
That was in the hands. Oh my God, that was good. You told me to take it easy and relax it.
That was going
to
be
a little bit.
I have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So interesting about that.
Yes.
Boss.
Yeah.
So we call him boss because he's only
He's
called
only
boss,
named
right?
boss, yeah.
But in IMDb, they list him as Barney Hackett.
Right.
Now,
is it because he played a Barney
in the Lost
episodes?
He played a gangster called Barney Hackett.
So
I guess they just carried that
just gave
over.
it
because you only called him. Nobody called him boss or Barney. They called him boss.
Right. So it's like, well, he was a gangster.
He was a gangster
when he played the gangster in the old one,
in the Lost,
and
they just carried it over
into that,
that, and then he became Barney Hackett.
Barney,
which is not even like a gangster name.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
freaking Chester Barnes.
Yeah.
It's like
Barney the Dimple.
Yeah,
like
like,
what kind
yeah,
of?
like,
What kind of? But that's not a very scary
No,
name.
it's not.
Yeah, Barney Hackett.
Barney Hackett. You always think of Barney Rubble.
Right. Yeah. Barney Fife.
Barney Fife. Those are Barneys. You know?
Oh, good. That's great.
So that's that.
All right, the only podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record in the Non-Productive Studios at 328 Chauncey Street in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, also known as Clifton, New Jersey. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast. And if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review, and we'll read them. The home base is non-productive.com/honeymooners. That's where you can get all the episodes if you don't do the podcast thing. And like our Honeymooners Podcast Facebook page, like our Honeymooners Podcast Facebook group.
The group.
And follow us on Twitter at Honeymooner1. And if you want to leave us a voicemail, call 628-400 7741. And email us at honeymoonerspodcast@aol.com. Aren't they ancient? Or
Aren't they ancient?
I found it again. I got it again. And if you want to support us on Patreon, which we're going to get into a whole thing on the Patreon thing next episode.
Next time
we're going to dedicate about 15 minutes to a wonderful idea about the Patreon, and we'll get to that person too in a few minutes. And what's going on, Lou?
Joe, 125.
125.
Now we've been absent for almost a month here.
Yes,
because I had a little problem.
Louis had some arterial monochromia. And he
I
couldn't
came down
find
with a sudden attack of the flu.
The sudden attack of the flu.
No,
And,
actually, I had kidney stones.
Yeah, and Dr. Norton couldn't fly in time, so Louis was in pain for a couple of weeks. And for Louis to tell me that he was in a lot of pain, that means he was in a lot of pain. All right, Louis doesn't complain about that kind of stuff.
I have a high ceiling for pain.
Right, of course.
This one was over the ceiling. Man, if anybody out there's had him, you know. Anybody had him? They know had him.
They could have him.
I
was thinking the same stupid thing. Oh my God, I really was.
So that's the reason why we've been off the shelf for a while.
Right. So
we're back today, and we'll be just as bad as we've always been.
Exactly.
And the timing won't be there. So
Yeah.
this is exactly the way the show's going.
Expect bad timing. And so, of course, before we get started, we want to talk about our fantastic sponsors.
Yes.
And we haven't been together enough to put together our third sponsor.
Yeah, our third sponsor.
Which, when I get back from I'm going to Fred's
Joe's
Landing.
going to Fred's Landing.
I'm leaving for Fred's Landing on Sunday. Then I'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Because I have some good ideas for some fun stuff with our third sponsor.
So we're gonna have to work on that. And we're gonna get everything together.
Yeah. So, but first, our first sponsor, of course, is SilkCityHotSauce.com. You guys know Silk City Hot Sauce. It's the best hot sauce on the planet. Our pal, the great Kingfish Levinsky, has been making this homemade stuff for a long, long time. And you know it's homemade.
How can this harm you? It's homemade, pal.
I mean, it says it. That says everything right there. And so go to SilkCityHotSauce.com. Get yourself some phenomenal hot sauce, except for honey habanero hot sauce. There's none left, but hopefully he'll let me know when they get some more. Mm-hmm. But they have great ones like Dragon Slayer, Jezebel. There's Mango.
Madness?
Mango Madness. Slurp. They're just all fantastic.
He changes them a lot, so you have to
have
to follow his
you have
his webpage because it's
and he has the weirdest, strangest names for these things. But then you go and look at the ingredients, and you're like, wow, that sounds pretty cool.
Right.
So what you do is you go to SilkCityHotSauce.com and get yourself some great hot sauce. There's packages. You could just do a la carte. Listen to me. A la carte, right? And then when you are done with your purchase, you go to the checkout counter, as they say, and there'll be a little thing smack in the middle of the page where there's a coupon code. And if you put the 2 letters here, RX in the coupon code, you will get a 15% percentage off of your order, and then you will get a free bottle of
Cherry Sriracha.
I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't think of the word.
That's all right, Mr. President. He doesn't have any more anyway.
Exactly. You're not getting any
Yeah,
cherry
no,
sriracha.
That's where
Cherry sriracha is just here
for we have to make our disclaimer for comedic
for
purposes.
comedic purposes only. Exactly. So, before we you know what? Not before we get into this and that, we have to get into the thing that we have to get into right now.
Yeah.
And you guys know what that is. And here we go.
Here it is.
Verily, the Honeymooners podcast knights the full-grown nut of the week. Aren't you lucky?
He is definitely lucky.
Everybody's out there biting.
It gives me real pleasure to present to you this award.
Lou DeAngelis.
I mean,
Oh, man.
dude. First of all, there's 2 reasons why we got Lou. One is,
You're a menace to society.
and 2,
You were a stupid head.
you were a stupid head. We met Lou at the convention.
Oh, I had a great time with Lou at the convention. We were just laughing.
And not just because he's another Lou.
No, that had nothing to do. He spells it differently, too. He's an L-E-W.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
an
He's
L-O-U.
L-E-W.
Yeah.
And he's also tall.
Yes.
So he's got like that
Yeah.
tall guy confidence,
Yeah.
which I can't stand.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is at 5'6" 3/4" to have this type of confidence?
Yeah, but
that
you're
got-
3/4.
Yeah,
You're
they're
almost-
3/4.
You're almost 5'7" there. Oh, I had a great time with Lou at the convention. We were just laughing it up.
Yeah.
Oh, he was actually pretty good. He was answering the trivia questions.
He was killing it in the trivia
And those
question from
trivia
his
questions-
seat.
From
his seat.
And those questions were like my fault. Were
Yeah.
impossible.
Were ridiculous,
But
yeah.
Lou was banging them out from the back
Lou
of the
was
room.
killing it. Yeah, it was. And the thing that we're not going to tell you what it is because we're going to dedicate probably the next episode.
Yeah, next episode.
Lou sent us an email about. We were asking ideas about the Patreon.
Yeah.
Because we were like, you know what, we don't want to just ask people to send us money for
No,
nothing. We
yeah,
want to.
no.
It want to be, don't get me wrong. People want to support, and I know that, and that's why people do it. But it's kind of like we want to make it fun.
Yes, like
and
we always do.
and make it Honeymooners-esque. And boy, did Lou!
Oh, he
nailed it.
He
nailed it.
Nailing it. He nailed it.
Absolutely. So we're going to dedicate probably the next episode,
next
126.
episode. Yeah, because
it's a little lengthy.
It's lengthy and intense.
But when you if we just take 15 minutes and go through it, it's well worth it.
Oh, it is because we're gonna have. We're just gonna fly with it.
It's absolutely hilarious. So Lou, I did not email you back, but trust me, we have it, and we're gonna go with that.
And we're gonna get your full-grown nut certificate.
Exactly. We're going to get you. That's right. You get your
gets
full-grown nut
he gets a
certificate.
Yeah.
And believe me, once we start doing it, it'll be good for that.
Yes.
It will.
And, and the Board of Nuts had no problem with this one.
Not at all. Not at all.
We went in there, we're in, and we were out.
Yeah. Not one of them said this.
Is this the man who gets the award?
Not one of them.
Not one.
Although one guy did say.
And you were a stupid head.
And then, okay, there it is.
There it is.
He's in.
Must be.
Must be one of those nuts.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. This is such a long time. It's funny. It's actually funny. Ooh, dusty on that.
Thank you. So, second thing for anybody that maybe didn't get to go to the convention.
Yes.
And by the way, we're already working on stuff for the next convention.
Oh, yeah.
We're already trying to kind of get some stuff to go down the pipeline, as they say, you know, and then maybe that thing will float right past Norton so we can get his lunch back.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Brooklyn right now.
Yeah.
I brung it. But for those of you that have not gotten the Honeymooners Raccoon convention T-shirt,
Oh, they're great.
they're great.
They're great.
Go to UncleVinny'sComedyClub.com and then click on merch, and then you'll see comics, and then you click on my name, Joe Conti, and then you can buy the shirts. I think anywhere from a medium to a 3X,
Something like that, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think that's what
so. I think it's a medium to a 3X. Get one. I think it's. I don't even know what it is. $25, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And it'll get shipped to your door. And if you put the correct address, which would be 33 Costco Street.
Got a lot of T-shirts at that door right now.
Dude, I would love to go to 33 Costco Street. I would love to just go by and be like, "That's 33 Costco Street."
That's where my T-shirt went.
That's where my T-shirt.
No wonder why I didn't get it.
Oh my goodness!
I say one thing about the convention again, Joe. We only had, I believe, one show after the convention.
Correct. That we talked about it,
and we're kind of still not that me and Joe communicate that much. We really don't.
We do when we have to.
We do when we have to. You get to see the text message. We're going to post them one day because they're hysterical. And anyway, so talking about it, I still want to thank everybody again.
Yeah,
who showed.
Oh,
and we were on pins and needles and pins. You know.
Yeah,
and we weren't the happy man that was grinning. We didn't know how it was going to go off because it was like so we had no benchmark.
We were hoping.
We were hoping. We figured with the people there, everything should be fine. And you guys made it so much easier.
You fulfilled Lou's prophecy because he told me, he goes, "Look, I think they're going to it's just going to flow.
It's going to flow. And
flow in the Dynaflow.
Flow in the Dynaflow.
And it did.
It did. You guys just made it. And, of course, Brian being there
absolutely
helped it. And then everybody, Brother Norton.
Yeah. And, Scott Tepperman.
Had this
and Michael Bruce.
All these guys. Just did Ron and everybody. And Dino, of course, did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
We ate. Like Gavone.
Gavone.
It was great.
It was a bunch of Teddy Overman.
Yeah, Teddy Overman, yeah. Next year we're going to serve carrots.
Yes, with ranch dressing.
ranch dressing.
And wings.
And before you talk, you got to put the carrot in your mouth.
In your mouth, right.
Yeah.
And then take a giant bite of a salami.
And somebody said in one of the because we don't take credit for something we don't say, me and Joe. I read on one of the Honeymooners posts that when Teddy Oberman's got like the carrot in his mouth and he says to Ralph, "Nice wife, good cook."
Right.
You're eating a carrot. Good cook.
Oh my God. That's hilarious. Do you remember who said that?
I forgot who said it. So I wish I would take credit for it, but I'm not like that.
He's eating a carrot.
He's eating a carrot. Good cook. Nice wife, good cook.
Good cook.
Yeah.
You're eating a carrot. That's so funny. Oh my God, that is great.
Oh God.
So
anyway, just getting out of that with the convention.
Absolutely.
Great time, guys did a great job. Next year, we promise it's going to be better, 100% better. Yeah.
So I wanted to bring this up. Like we're always doing we're really liking the here's an item bit.
Oh yeah,
which is great because we get to incorporate. The nuts,
yeah.
And they
guys
get
have
to
ideas and
it's just great.
We can't think of everything.
I have another idea. If you guys want to do a here's an item, and you don't, want to email us or whatever, use the voicemail. Get to have your voice on the air.
Voice on the air.
You're on the air. So you would just say, "Hey, what's up? This is so and so from blah blah blah, whatever. Like the show. Here's an item." And go into your here's an item.
Yeah, and
we'll just use that for the intro for our here's an item.
There you go.
And speaking of.
The Honeymooners podcast now presents Here's an Item. This is where we have one of our lusciously lovely listeners present some material for this press prodigious, proficient program. Oh dear, I've dribbled all over myself. And now, without any more ado,
Here's an item.
That might be the perfect intro.
It is.
Because the music is phenomenal.
Phenomenal music.
It's the swinging Swanee River, Dave Ingram,
the voice,
and then here's an item.
Here's an item.
It's just perfect.
Here's an item.
Okay. Well, here's an item is from Bob Stanley.
He's a beast.
Bob the Beast Stanley. Okay. And Bob emailed us and said, hey, fellas, regarding the $99,000 answer, did you know that just before Norton starts playing the Melancholy Serenade while practicing with Ralph, which is the
Honeymooners
theme,
theme, yep.
but he's doing it sounds a little different. He quickly turns over the sheet music, and if you freeze frame the scene, you can clearly see Jackie Gleason's face on the cover.
Oh, man. That is an item.
Yeah. Happy belated birthday. That's how long ago he emailed me this. From my birthday's in April. I look forward to listening to the Lodge Meetings episode. So this was right before the convention.
Right.
But that is something that I am going to do.
Everyone's going to look at that now. I know some people probably have seen that. It may have been mentioned somewhere,
but not to
not here.
I never did,
podcast.
and nobody that I know. I've never been told that. But that's a perfect here's an item.
That is a good here's an item.
It's a good here's an item because
real good here's an item.
It's just I noticed something that I never noticed before, which is what this whole podcast
is about.
has become.
Get 125 of these. Noticing things that we never noticed. This is amazing. You think about that. That is amazing. Because that's the whole premise of this podcast. When we first started out, we wanted to do that.
Right.
Bring everybody together, talk about the Honeymooners, and just keep it fresh by doing this. Not picking it apart in a negative way.
No.
Like, did you see what Norton did and he screwed up here and
because
awful and
because it's like making fun. It's like making fun of your own people.
Yeah,
it's totally cool because we make fun of when we make fun of Trapped.
Yeah,
how how flawed it is. Warning. Just saying. But of course, because we love it. And we point out the flaws. It's like pointing out the flaws in your spouse or a family member. You love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Flaws and all, warts and all, as they say.
That's it.
And this is perfect. This is a great here's an item. And when I go home tonight, right after the late show, I am going to check this out and see if I can see
stop
Gleason's
it.
face.
Stop it. Perfect.
Great here's an item. Bob the Beast Stanley.
He's a beast.
He's a beast. All right. So,
it wasn't his fault, darling one.
Darling one. Okay. So now we are getting into the crux of this show, which is, of course.
And now, from the observation deck overlooking the Johnson Building at 328 Chauncey Street, the Honeymooners Podcast presents Louis' Observations.
All right, Louis' Observations.
Yes.
That is my pal Joey Image doing that intro.
Yeah, great intro.
It's a very good intro.
Love that intro.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to get into a little Dial J.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Louis noticed, and this is a great observation because it's not a flub, it's not this or that, but it is a true observation.
Yes.
Because you're observing something that on the surface seems fine.
Fine.
But there's something there.
There's just something there. I could be right. I could be wrong.
I believe you 100%.
You don't think I'm right. But
I think you're 1,000% right. And I'll go back
we're going to make
a
a correlation to another one after we do this. The correlation to...
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Like the same premise, but we're going to do this one first.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about now?
Yep, I know. Yep. Boss.
A doozy.
Okay.
What's the matter with these people? Don't they realize a janitor only has two hands?
Don't expect any sympathy from me, Ralph. The work is piled up on you for one reason, because you had to go bowling last night. And while you were bowling, I had to take out the ashes and bank the furnace. Now, I did not ask for the janitor, Ralph. You did. So if you don't want the work to pile up on you, then you'll just have to cut out bowling and some of this other foolishness of yours.
Now, that's one of the most ridiculous things I ever heard of. Why should I cut out bowling? It's my only relaxation. Besides, the exercise is good for me to keep down my weight.
You don't need anything to keep your weight down. You need something to hold it up.
Bang, zoom. Get my supper.
I'll be very happy to fix it for you, Ralph. If only to prove that somebody in this family can fix something.
There it is.
There it is. Now,
I love this observation.
okay, now.
Go ahead.
He says, get my supper. He should have said, in my opinion,
I agree.
fix my supper.
Fix my supper.
Because of the line that follows.
She goes, I'll fix
I'll
it.
fix it. Just to prove
So
somebody in this
somebody
house can fix
something.
something.
And that's a great line, by the way. And it got nothing.
Got nothing.
And I think it would have gotten a more of a laugh with a better setup. Because
Right.
the punchline's still there.
Punchline's good.
But the setup is fix my supper. Oh, I'll fix
it.
Yeah.
Just to prove somebody in this house can fix something.
something.
So I think that it should have been fix my supper here. Fix my supper
Yes.
instead of get my supper.
Yes. I agree.
So Joe agrees when I told him about
I
it. Joe said,
totally
I think-
agree.
I think you're right here.
And I agree. And that goes into the same vein as in Funny Money when
Jim Bowles,
Jim Bowles,
the actor's name is Jim
right,
Bowles, the tall guy.
where he goes, he
Yeah.
goes, we're gonna, let's go get it from him,
Yeah.
and he goes, well, what if he don't give it to us?
Yeah, what if you don't give it to us? And then he says,
Supposing you shut
up.
He should have said, suppose he doesn't give it to us. Supposing you shut up, which is a classic joke.
Yes.
Because you're using the same
Same
word
yes.
and putting it to
Yep.
something else, whether it's a threat, violence, whatever it is, and that's what he did, and it didn't get a line. Didn't get a laugh.
No, it didn't get a laugh.
No. Supposing he doesn't give it to us. Supposing you shut up. Now, I'm not saying it's not the most
No, the most hysterical
but
thing,
it's,
but
it's done. It's done well.
It done well. Just supposing and supposing.
Exactly.
Here's the same thing with fix and fix.
Right. Yeah.
So we have two lines that
I
kind of don't.
couldn't agree with you more.
Kind of don't make it because of the use of the wrong words.
Could not agree with you
right?
more.
So we'll see what everybody else thinks about that.
Great Louis' observation.
So that's the observation.
Now,
And we have one more, Joe. We'll go with the money.
Oh, you mean with Charlie, the one we just noticed before?
No, the one with what would say when Norton makes the phone calls. When Ralph makes the phone call.
Yes,
and he calls.
that's right.
Thank you. One of the. We also looked at. It's one of the times Norton walks in with a watch on.
Right.
Because the watch, and we talked about this a couple of shows back. Then we talked about props that are just there for that episode.
Right.
Remember, like the alarm clock, and with Blabbermouth. You never
Yeah.
see an alarm clock in his kitchen.
Right.
It happens to be there. This is the same thing. Norton only wears a watch in a couple episodes.
Right.
And when he wears
But
it,
it's
it's
for
got
a purpose.
something to
It's-
do with the episode.
It's got a purpose.
So now he comes down,
Right.
and the whole thing, he makes the phone call. This better be, was that the important call? Wasn't only time the important,
Right, of course.
He goes, you use my phone so many times. And he pulls out the black book, which we're going to talk about that too in a little while.
Yeah.
All right, pulls out the black book, and
Right.
he gives him the number of 176.
You use my phone.
You
a few
use my
times.
phone a few times.
So please tell me what it is, and I'll pay you.
Right. There you go. And he says $176.30. And then Ralph says, let me check that against my figures.
Right, and then Alice comes in.
And Alice comes in.
Okay.
Now, when you think about this, $176.30. Phone calls back then were nickels and dimes.
Right.
So we'll just go on the dime level.
Right.
That's 1,763 phone calls.
More, no, it's more than that. Because if it's,
Yeah, because it's 176, not 1,000.
Right.
It's 176.
It's 1,076 to today's
money. Today's
But for
money,
them-
it's
right.
Back then,
So it's actually 1,000. If it was 10 cents a call,
It's 17. But I'm saying at 10 cents a call, it's 1,763 phone calls.
At that point, maybe you do need a
You
phone.
call- yeah, really. and Joe said before we were talking about this, setting this up earlier. He said that we always seen through the through all the episodes the exaggeration of numbers, and especially in dollar amounts.
Yes,
and it's for that. Yeah. It just the higher the number, it just resonates more.
Where it's not believable.
Right.
It's ridiculous, but could be believable. Where if he would have said, "Well, you owe me $7.83,"
it just wouldn't resonate with it.
No,
it just
but
comes across as anything.
It's a big number.
Big number.
Not where you're like, that's impossible. More like, oh my God, I can't believe he used a phone that much. And this is all going in your head in milliseconds.
Right.
I love it.
Was it like $40 million?
Yeah.
For those $40 million, like $500 million back then.
$400 million. Yeah. Like,
So
what
they-
did this lady do?
Yeah, so they just she's riding a bus every day.
Right.
This is what they did. The exaggeration of the number, but when you put it out there, and it's really funny to think that this is 1,763 calls at 10 cents a call. So
It's great.
Just wanted to cover that.
It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. Well, we're going to do something that we haven't done in a while.
Say something funny?
No, let's not get
Let's not get panicky now.
Crazy. Let's not get panicky now. We get to hear last episode's Full Grown Nut of the Week, which was Joe Fernandez.
Yes.
Here it is.
And now, the Honeymooners podcast presents
It's not in the top hand drawers.
the Flub of the Week.
I can't believe we're doing the Flub of the Week. I can't
We're
believe
still finding them.
I can't believe it. And actually, we actually have a very minor one and the one that you're going to bring up. There's two. Remember the one we heard right before we went on? We were playing Charlie.
Oh yeah,
It's
funny.
It's very funny once you hear it.
It is funny when you hear it,
and it's so minor, but it sounds hilarious. Okay, so we're gonna go to the babysitter.
Yes, babysitter.
Right when Alice gets on the phone with Harvey Wallstetter, or Mrs. Wallstetter, and then Ralph comes in, coming from the barbershop.
Without the flowers and the
Without
candy.
the flowers and the candy. Right. Apparently he did eat them and smell the flowers.
Yeah.
I guess.
Be cheerful, happy,
The most important thing of all, when you walk in here, don't let us suspect that anything is wrong.
I won't. I'll be pleasant. I'll be smiling.
Wait a minute. That'll be a dead giveaway. Why don't you walk in like you always do?
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Here we go. Very slight.
Yeah.
But it's here.
Listen now. Listen up.
Yes, Mr. Wallstetter, I have a pad and pencil now.
So minor.
So, but that's all the flubs are now. That's what we're finding.
Yeah,
It's
I did, and
minor.
I don't remember this one.
Yeah.
Where she says, "I got a pad now."
Yeah, pad now.
I got a pad now.
Because it's the pad and pen. That's a tough thing to say.
Right,
Pad and pencil.
Pad and pen.
Yeah.
So we got a pad and pen.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Wallstetter, I have a pad and pencil now.
I got a pad and pencil. I got a pad and pencil. I got a pad and pencil. And it's very. I bet you if some lunatic went through all the episodes and did all the flubs, she out of the four main characters would have the least.
Yeah. Well, she's got
Because-
two that we know of. The other one with Home Alone and Alone Here at Home.
Right.
Which we talked about that, and she should have just went with it. I don't know why she corrected herself because it was
she should have just went with it.
Yeah.
Let herself go.
Let herself go for a while.
But yeah, I love this. It's so subtle, and I still like it. And I just want to one more time. A pad and pen.
Yes, Mr. Wallstetter, I have a pad and pencil now.
Pad and pencil. Now,
and now that you hear, like we always say, you can't unhear it.
You can't unhear
but
it.
It sounds even more intense when you hear it.
yeah.
Now that you know. Now that
Now you know it. Yeah, it's more apparent.
Yes.
Now that you hear it,
And
because
it
you know
sounds
it's
worse.
coming.
And it sounds worse.
Even though it's such
nothing.
a minor.
It's a little
it's
minor
nothing.
thing. But like we said, all our flubs now are minor because
Yes.
we've run out
We've
of flubs.
we've run out
I
of
think
flubs.
we've run
Okay, so we're gonna start the This is the first and
It's the opening scene.
and we didn't know this right until just before we started.
No,
Right?
No.
Because we were playing it.
Yeah.
Because I was getting the episode The Babysitter for this.
Yep.
And we noticed Charlie, the phone operator. It was just something kind of funny.
Checking new installation. Bensonhurst 077.
Oh my God. Bensonhurst.
No,
It sounds
even
glaring.
It sounds even more pronounced.
It's like there's a big word on the screen that says Bensonhurst. Hey, what's up? What are you doing? I'm going out with Bensonhurst tonight. She's a real looker. Bensonhurst. Never heard it before, and it's just, and again, so minute. But when you hear it, this one cracks me up.
Oh, yeah.
More so than pad and pad.
Pad.
I mean, it's Bensonhurst. You got to hear it again. It's just hilarious.
Checking new installation. Bensonhurst 077.
Oh, it's great. Bensonhurst. It's like he's being cute with the town, you know? Like you call, it's like you call your girl, hey, come on, honeykins. Let's go. Come on, Bensonhurst. Let's go out for dinner. Oh, this is just absolutely great. I love it.
God.
I absolutely
That's what we're talking about. It was said that this is a very flawed episode of Babysitter. There's a lot of things going on in here that are flawed.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
How old do you think Harvey Jr. is?
Like, realistically?
He's supposed to come across as probably younger than he is, because remember when Alice picks him up?
Right.
It's like she was picking up like Andre the Giant. He's like too big. First,
yeah, he's too big.
He's too big. How
to
old
be
do you
picked
think
up.
he is?
The actor?
No. How old do you think the character is supposed to be?
I would say 4.
You think he's supposed to be younger than what he appears?
Absolutely.
Because they're celebrating their 10th anniversary.
Right.
He says to Helen.
Correct.
Here's to 10 years or
10
whatever.
years, right.
Whatever.
Chentan.
Yeah. Chentan. He says so he goes. So I'm thinking, well, how old is this kid supposed to be? But I think he's supposed to be younger than what he's appearing.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be younger because it's a kid. It's a babysitter.
Yeah.
And what's that?
Yeah. What?
The best.
I wrote that down. That is one of my favorite lines. What is that? What is that? And the look away, he looks at Alice, points to Junior. What is that?
What is that? It's that point where
the whole thing.
Yeah.
The point, his head looking away at Alice, and what is that?
It really is.
It's freaking
It's
phenomenal.
It's so funny.
Phenomenal line to me.
Yeah. Especially because you're talking about a child.
Yes.
And you say, what is
that? Like it's the
Like
same
it's
reaction you
an
had to a
animal.
can of tuna fish.
Right.
What is that?
Harvey Jr.
is
he's Star-Kissed.
Yeah.
What is that?
What is that?
It's
Great.
and then you have Bensonhurst.
Bensonhurst. We have pad and pencil.
Pad and
pencil.
Pencil. Pad and pencil.
And Ralph's got like 3 flubs in this too.
That's right.
He does. He's got like 3 of them. I mean, I don't go over them now, but he's got like 3. So you watch The Babysitter, and the one that you picked out, one of your observations from way back, Alice's dress.
Right, which I think everybody notices that.
Yeah.
Even before I said it. That's one of those when you're looking for, the flaws.
The flaws.
That's one of them.
Yeah, one. And also, she almost knocks over the drink on the table with the magazine.
You showed me one.
I'm like, oh my God, could you imagine if that drink went over? What the heck would they have done?
I don't know. He would have maybe. Anybody said, "Oh, it sounds like you already got started."
Yeah, I started. Oh, cocktail time. That's the other.
Oh, cocktails. How cozy.
How cozy.
I love the word cozy when he says it. Oh, look how cozy. Cocktails. And meanwhile, Jackie Gleason is probably thinking, you know what? How about hold on a minute? I'm just going to grab one of those cocktails. I'm going to. Oh no! I just got a text from Michael Bruce.
No way.
Yeah, he knew we were going to be recording.
Oh, okay.
So he left a voicemail. Maybe maybe in editing, maybe I'll play the voicemail in the beginning of the
it,
episode. So let's pretend, hey, that's a great voicemail, Micah Bruce. Harumph.
Oh, what a surprise.
So, it's great to have. We actually have 2 flubs.
Yeah,
we got 2 flubs.
Really? We should save
Who would have
one.
thought we'd find 2 flubs?
Save when we're running out for next week.
Yeah, exactly. So now, I want to get into an episode that we never really talk about. You know, we always seem to. It always flies under the radar.
It's
We
like
never
it's
really
like
get
almost
to
like a
talk about it.
lost episode.
It's like a lost episode, and that is Trapped / Hero at Large, which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
How there's a lot of them with labels Hero at Large.
Yeah.
It's not just My Cablevision. It's even on when you Google it and you put it Trapped, it'll come up some of the Googles. It'll come up Hero at Large.
Well,
Ralph Crandon, Hero
the
at Large.
babysitter. When somebody posted that TV guide listing,
Right.
It's Bensonhurst 37741.
That's the
Is
title?
The title. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting too. Huh. Never thought of it as anything but the babysitter.
Yep. It's Bensonhurst 37741. Bensonhurst 3, people. 3.
Bensonhurst
Not
3, not 0, 3. Okay, so in Trapped, I was last week. I was home, hanging out. I threw on an episode, and I DVR them, so I don't know what they're going to be,
Right?
Because they come up on PX, and I just click one,
Right.
whatever comes up. It's like what a surprise!
What a surprise!
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm watching Trapped, and
It's got to be good. It's Trapped.
It's Trapped, of course.
It's one of our favorite ones.
So it's the moment when Ralph says, "Look," when he says, "I'm not gonna put your hands behind your back.
I'm not going
He
to do
goes,
it.
I'm not
Put
going to
your
do
hands
it.
behind your back."
Now you look."
And you
And Ralph goes, "Now you look," and he says, "One day I'm going to see you, and you're not going to have this guy here, your friend with the gun." And meanwhile, Dibbo has a gun.
He got one too.
All right, he's got a gun. All right, so that's one thing.
Right.
Then when he goes, take him in the other room and work him over. Now you noticed the way Ralph walks in the room.
He just turns around and walks in like like they said. Ralph Ralph is a buffet in there, and like Jackie Gleason just turned to He just turns and walks, opens the door. I would have been like, with my back to the door and like
Yeah, a
facing
little
Dibbo,
bit, or at least walking and
Like,
looking
you
back,
know,
like,
like,
all
yeah,
right,
like-
this guy coming, all right, you know what I mean?
Not just
I don't
turning
wanna-
around and walking straight to his door.
Like, hey, you want to go grab that pitcher of beer over there? Oh, right in there. Okay, I'll go get it.
I'll get it.
So you notice that, which I
Yeah,
thought just
yeah,
think
yeah.
is so funny. And then he gets into a fight with him. But how do you lose a fight when you're holding a gun?
You're holding a gun.
How are you losing a fight? He walked in holding a gun. How do you lose the fight? I don't understand. And again, this is all part of the flawed episode that we absolutely
You think
love.
Ralph would get pistol whipped in there?
Yeah,
If anything,
Like, to me, Dibbo didn't need a gun. You only need one gun.
Yeah.
In the scene, it's, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, well, hey, it's only one gun against the two of us.
Yeah.
No, it's one gun, two of us, hands up. Dibbo didn't need a gun. So that's why it made sense if he would have said, when you got this guy with the gun, if Dibbo didn't
have a gun.
Dibbo would have
D-I-B-B-O.
Yeah. If Dibbo
And
didn't have a
Dibbo,
gun,
what's his name? Yeah.
but he had the friggin' gun.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he goes in there and he walks in with a gun and loses a fight to Ralph.
Yeah.
Suppose you never met her. You never.
And then Ralph comes out with the gun.
yeah, exactly.
We did like some of them self-defense moves in there.
Right,
like,
right,
you can
exactly.
See on YouTube.
And my final little thing from that moment, or that little scene, that great scene, is when they said, "You shoot that gun, every cop in the neighborhood will be up here in 5 seconds." Or you could have just turned the water on, and it sounds like a gun anyway.
They would have been up there.
Just turn it on. They would have been like, "What is that? What is going on? Why is there a gunshot?" And the cops would have been up there, and it would have been over. So I just found it. I was like, I can't believe I just found something from Trapped that we could have fun with. I couldn't believe
Really?
it.
I mean, I thought we covered Trapped.
We covered it over and over to a point we're never going to talk about Trapped again. 125 episodes in, we're talking about Trapped again.
And I love it.
I love it, too.
It's like one of the things we've done this since doing the show, like episodes that you really didn't pay much attention to. Correct. Or not pay much attention to. They weren't like on your favorite list.
Right.
Have become my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just through our discussion.
Yeah.
And that happened with Trapped. I'm going to go out on the limb here and say, I guarantee somebody else out there feels the same way about Trapped. Because just by us covering it, intensely covering it, it had to grow on somebody.
It had to. If you didn't like that episode, you have to at least appreciate the awesome brokenness of it. You know what I mean? It's so greatly broken. It's not bad.
No. Oh, no.
It's broken. It's flawed.
It's flawed.
It's fractured.
Yeah, fractured fairy tales. Like and the thing about it, it's like something, and we covered this once again, too. I mean, 125 of these things. We've got to cover things a couple of times.
Right.
Maybe like how unbelievable the situation is.
Right.
Like, could this happen? Remember we did that things we went through the list show at a time. We went through the list, like things that are realistic, totally unrealistic, and then things like
there's no
over
way
the top ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not gonna. Yeah,
so Trap to me runs into that thing like
right.
You know, Ralph. You know, they're knocking off the Night Watchman and he's robbing the bank and the whole bit. And, you know, and then
I still laugh at one of the first things we noticed about Trap on how callous they were about this poor watchman that was killed.
Yeah,
like they're just like it was just like the guy died.
The guy died.
Yeah. So this is terrible, and the guy got killed.
Yeah,
it was just like and it just adds to the entertainment value of it. Yeah, it's just so fantastic.
And of course, the detective show. Nothing better.
Think about it. You have Ken. Oh my god!
I'm drawing a blank now.
Ken.
You drew.
My god!
Now you just made me draw a blank.
Oh my god! Wait a minute. Well, how's the intro go?
Yeah, the intro go.
Ken. No, I'm not. I am not going to not.
You just
know what
you just made me draw a blank when you said that.
Hold on. The many faces of Ken Lynch. I just had to say the many faces.
Yeah.
Which we need to bring Ken Lynch bit back.
Oh yeah, we got to do another Ken Lynch.
I think we should do that when they're here.
Oh yeah,
when
they
they come
Ken
back.
Lynch. Oh god,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because it'd be great. Because I can picture the three of us just writing like lines down and handing them to you and let you do the bit.
Doing a Ken Lynch. But he brings this Ken Lynch into this. It's a great episode. Oh, great episode.
It is.
We talked even about props before. The prop of the phone booth in the pool hall, which is never there.
Right.
But it's there because Dippo's got to come in and have some place to hide, and he goes into the phone booth.
Correct.
So.
Correct. Yeah. Well, I think we have come to the end of the episode. I was going to bring up something else, but I'm going to save it for another episode. So what we are going to do is we are going to get into Louis' 173rd. Is that how much the phone bill was?
Now. Yeah.
173rd favorite bit from the show, and that is, of course. By the way, I can't listen to $99,000. I can't watch that episode now without thinking of Herb and
Nicole.
And just, and just everything that's in this 23 seconds. You hear it there and you're like, it doesn't sound right. Now, the regular $99,000 answer doesn't sound right because of this. Just saying. That's how twisted everything is.
Now, Tom, who is our first guest, please? Our first guest, ready to leap the first hurdle on his way to the $99,000 answer, is our
comedian from Schenectady, New York.
Thank you.
Joe Conti.
Thank you. It's good to be here, everybody.
I want to see the expression on your face when you miss it.
Wow. Boy, she started in.
Right in.
She started in.
Didn't even get a few
hello, Fatso. Hello, Fatso.
Remember. Yeah, I know.
Get all the Fatso. Remember.
Hello there, Fatso.
Oh, God. All right.
and all things just all piling on. We have to get together in a month. This is what happens.
This is
everything
exactly what
piles
happens.
on.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody up there.
We gotta get our honeymooners fixing.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, this question was prepared by
Professor Walter Newman.
as always.
Always.
And he come up with a good one.
He prepares a lot.
He prepares a lot. This is easy. You should get this one.
Okay.
What is Harvey's address?
Harvey's address. No, I know the Barfeld's address.
Which is?
Himrod Street. Wait a minute. 103 Himrod Street.
No.
No.
It is Himrod Street.
It's not 103?
Not 103.
It's one something.
No, I think it's 363, isn't it?
363 Himrod Street.
Apartment 4D.
Apartment 4D.
Yeah.
Right. What is... They say his address?
Yeah.
Who says it? Does Alice say it?
When she's writing it down. I think what you got to pad and pencil.
Wow. I am drawing a Ken Lynch blank right now.
Okay.
Give me...
Let me give you the number. Maybe the number will...
Okay.
465.
Wait a minute. It's a street that they've said before. Or no?
No, Himrod's the street they said before. It's two
Himrod,
words.
they said
two words. 2 words. To name of a person.
465.
He was president. Martin. You ran out of the clock right now.
I ran out of the clock. Go ahead, tell me.
Van Buren.
Van Buren.
Apartment. Apartment. Yeah, we'll save you on the apartment. Can you get the apartment?
Wait a minute.
The other one was 4D. Apartment
Right.
4D.
So this is what number? 465.
Van Buren.
Van Buren.
Apartment.
Nothing. I got nothing.
3C.
I don't even remember.
Wow. Walter
You
Newman.
know what? That's
Walter Newman attacking.
See, to me, that's like a good second tier. Like if we do the 99,000 ounces, that's like second level.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, next year when we go to we're going to have a whole new format on trivia, and it's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
It's not going to be like this.
Even though it was so much fun.
I was fun, but I screwed it up. I screwed that up.
It was a fun disaster.
It was.
An
Like, well, so you got to make fun of it. Disaster.
Fun disaster.
But next
100%.
year's trivia is going to be phenomenal at the convention.
Yes.
You have to pre-register. And we're going to go through a whole thing. I have a whole criteria, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And there'll be prizes, too, next year. Next year, we're going to have prizes.
Yeah, we had prizes,
Yeah.
but
nobody won.
Nobody came close to it.
Like I came close to Lou DeAngelis, and he wasn't in the contest.
Oh, you know what's funny? You know what we forgot?
What?
We forgot our second sponsor.
Oh, we
That is Keys to the Caribbean
Caribbean.
Travel on Facebook. That is, if you don't know, guys, real quick, because that is your all of your travel needs if you're looking to go anywhere. My wife,
Your wife. I knew we forgot something, and that was it. Your wife.
your wife.
You're going to stand there and tell me your wife has a travel agency?
She's actually thinking about becoming a travel influencer.
Oh.
Where she would go and do videos on her Instagram and just telling people about her for places to go to also.
Oh, okay.
And giving different things. So she's thinking of doing that also. That would be my wife.
Your wife. You going to sit there and tell me that your wife is going to be a travel influencer? I forgot. So in this month, I forgot all about this
I
stuff.
forgot
Oh,
everything.
My God.
It's like we're doing a show.
I think I got like a kidney stone with my brain or something. Like, God.
All right. So who can we thank? First of all, we're going to thank Silk City Hot Sauce and all of you guys who listen, email us, leave voicemails like Michael Bruce.
Yes.
Comment on Facebook, and all of you full-grown nut fraternity members and future fraternity members. Okay,
There's a chance for you.
There's even a chance for you. Share episodes of our show on YouTube.
Oh man,
Share episodes of our YouTube videos with friends on your social media, or share directly with your pals in the sewer or the Home Depot. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Home Depot.
At the Home Depot.
Man, hurry up! Let's wrap this up.
At the bus depot. Oh my goodness! If you want to follow me on all my social media platforms, it's Joe Conti Comic. That's Joe Conti with an E. And I think that is it. And thank you for Michael Bruce for the voicemail that we're pretending that we already heard. And we're just going to put it on the thing in post. So thank you. That was a wonderful voicemail.
Yes, it was great.
Imagine if it's terrible.
As only Michael Bruce can do.
Oh, goodness. And that is it. So episode 125. A glorious 125.
Yes.
In the books. For me, Joe Conti, and my pal Louis Fats, we say we'll see you next time.
E pluribus raccoonum. Night all.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.